Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Garnet Sports Network's presentation of Swarthmore College Volleyball here in Tarble Pavilion. I'm Mark Filati. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We've got a big game here for you. The Garnet, a sterling 16-3 on the season, set to tip off against the Muhlenberg Mules, who come in at 15-8 on the season. This is a matchup of two of the top teams in the Centennial. Swarthmore sitting in second place and Muhlenberg in third. So we should have a doozy of a game for you here tonight. The Garnet are coming off a strong weekend of non-conference play, taking a trip up to Boston for the MIT Quad Tournament, going 2-1, with their one loss coming against MIT, who last year reached the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. A strong four-setter the Garnet played. And we begin action here tonight with an error from Emma Morgan-Bennett, a freshman. The Mules are an extremely young team, just two seniors and one junior, and the rest of the team is comprised of underclassmen. But they are pesky, and they have had a very strong season to date. And they're looking to take down the Garnet, whose record so far has been sterling. But right now the Mules are off to a 2-0 lead, as Scott sets up wide for Wallace. And that's an error from Morgan Bennett off a miscue. Wasn't able to read the pass from Malia Scott, a junior, who leads the team in assists this year with 334. Good save from Mara Dembravin, wide to Wallace. It's wide to Kelly Tornetta, blocked. Now they'll swing it to the other side. Scott goes for it herself with the left hand and called long. So already a difficult start for the Garnet. Muhlenberg racing out to a 4-0 lead. The senior Allison Glass is serving. She is Muhlenberg's 8th all-time leader in kills, and she is the focal point of this offense. And she'll have to be on point if the Mules want to take down the Garnet on the road. Swarthmore takes its first point off a miscue at the net. Malia Scott is back to serve. Scott wide to Leventhal. It's blocked. And that was misplayed off the hands of Hubert into the net. Unable to be saved by Tornetta. Scott nets that serve. Serve swings back to the Mules. Swarthmore again with only 3 losses on the season, one of them coming this past weekend on the road at MIT. Their only other losses have been a neutral site loss in the first match of the season against Eastern, which is now ranked in the top 15 in the nation. And their other loss was a brutal home match against Johns Hopkins several weeks ago, losing 15-13 in the 5th set. But other than those 3 defeats, Swarthmore has not suffered any major losses. So Scott plays it over to Morgan Bennett. 2-hand stop. Wide to Dembravin, who pushes it, and it's called wide. She went for the touch shot down the line. but not quite enough margin. So it's the Mules with a 6-3 lead early in this first set. Scott wide to Leventhal. And that's a Muhlenberg point. Possibly a double hit, unclear what the call was there. That's a misplayed serve from Maggie Ennisvet, a freshman. 1 of 7 on this young but fiery Muhlenberg team. Now it's the libero, Sarah Gerard, to serve. Scott wide to Dembravin, again with the push. But it's saved wide to Ennisvet. Now Leventhal. Beautiful touch shot, but what a save. The Glass has to play it back. Wow. Bit of luck necessary for Muhlenberg to take that point. But some fantastic saves on both sides. And a bit of a cheeky move on the two-hand push. With a little bit of help from the net cord. Now Scott to Dembravin. Again with the soft push. That ball's blocked and saved by Gerard. Another block. They play it to Hubert. Now Wallace from behind the 10-foot line. Tough save in the backcourt. It's off the ref. And it's a nice kill from Wallace. Now first action of the game for sophomore Elise Cummings. Back to serve. Play it wide to Glass. Goes for the push, saved by Cummings. Now Dembravin. And she puts it just deep enough out of the reach of Tornetta. It's a 2-point game. Cheeky play from Hubert, but a beautiful block deep into the corner. Really well placed, and that puts the Garnet back within 1. Cummings with the serve. Now it's Glass. A ton of power on that shot, and it's played off of Malia Scott. Serve swings back to the Mules. And it's the libero, Elizabeth Garrison, who's got 34 aces on the season. Beautiful move from Malia Scott, taking it herself. Now it's Gwyn Mesh, another sophomore, seeing her first action of the night. Sends it long, saved by Garrison. Now it's Glass, again with power shot. Gerard has to play it backwards. Beautiful touch. Glass again, and it's too much for Gerard that time. You can see why Glass is the team's leader in kills and has been for several years. She gets a ton of height over the net and puts big swings behind her balls. Tough save from Gerard after the misplay. Scott wide to Wallace, saved by Garrison. Misplayed set. Scott again to Wallace, and that's done. Oh wow, they called it wide. Looked like Wallace had that line covered. But a little too tight. And it's a 3-point game again for the Mules. Now it's Alice Liu on the far side. Tough save wide. Garrison has to just tap it back. Scott to Wallace. And that one well inside the lines. Beautiful placement from Sarah Wallace. Two-time honorable mention All-American and the reigning conference player of the year. She enters this game 7th in the conference in kills per set. That ball too much mustard for Cummings. So the set has stabilized a little bit. Muhlenberg maintaining a slight but consistent lead of several points. Big kill from Tornetta. Morgan Bennett got a finger on it, but not enough. Tornetta, a sophomore, is the team's leader in kills thus far this season. Allison Glass missed a good portion of the season with an injury. That's Morgan Bennett with a little help from the net. Claims that kill. So it's back to Malia Scott, the lefty, for the serve. Play it to Trombetta. Scott short to Leventhal. She went for the tight angle. Really difficult play. Madison Forrest with the serve. It's Scott wide to Leventhal again, and she finds the hole. And it's back to a 3-point game. Wallace will serve. Little low. She went for the short ball onto the far side and clipped a little too much of the net. Now it's Wallace with a two-hand set. Leventhal again. It's saved. Scott to Dembravin. And too much to handle for Garrison, the libero. Well done by Dembravin off the angle. So they play to Tornetta. Diving save from Malia Scott. Again to Leventhal. The ball's deep. And somehow saved by the Mules. Now they'll reset to Dembravin, off balance. The one-hand push from Erica Schultz worked. Rather than wait for the setup, she went right for it. While that ball was still on its way up. Caught the SWAT defense a little off guard. Again, it's Muhlenberg advantage. Tornetta serving. Scott to Alice Liu with the running kill. Leventhal again, it's tipped. Now from the back, it's Tornetta. Alice Liu blocked by Erica Schultz, but could not be saved off the slight tip. Schultz is the tallest player on either team, coming in at 6'2", and she is imposing when she's in that front court. Now it's Dembravin, who was blocked by Hubert, but wide on the block. The Garnet looking to start making their run as we move deeper in this opening set. Now it's Glass going for the deep push. Scott takes it herself, and it's saved and tipped by Dembravin. She spotted that ball perfectly and sent it right back where it came from. Now it's Cummings, one of the team's service leaders on the season. It's Glass, who put a little too much on that ball. And Swarthmore is tied for the first time, all set, 16 all. It's a Muhlenberg timeout, and we'll take a short break here. Stick with us here on the Garnet Sports Network.
The graphics aren't on here. The graphics. Oh, it's not on this one.
The scoreboard isn't showing up on the thing.
Exciting game. First tough game they've had in a while.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, they just run through these teams.
Yeah. Their strategy has to change.
Yeah. Swarthmore has evened this opening set for the first time. Mules head coach Alexa Keckler wisely taking a timeout, trying to stem this 4-point run for the Garnet. Cummings continuing to serve, hoping to build a Garnet lead. And Erica Schultz is stuffed by Dembravin and Alice Liu on that front line. Really difficult pair to get past. And a beautiful block off one of Muhlenberg's offensive leaders. Huge serve from Cummings. Misplayed off the back row of the Mules. That's a big time ace from Cummings. It's her 34th on the season, leads the Garnet. Another really difficult serve. Low and pretty much unplayable. Swarthmore's feeling lively. They're on a huge run right now. Another low serve. Now it's Glass, goes for the touch shot, saved by Cummings. Wide to Dembravin. Played wide again to Glass. Ton of pace on that ball, but it's saved. Wallace has to play it from deep. They go to Tornetta from the back line, and she has the touch on that. Finally a point for the Mules. Ending a 6-0 run for SWAT. Now it's Malia Scott all by herself. She's used that play several times tonight already, and it has been extremely effective. Off the set, she spots that ball, getting close to the net, and she takes it herself. And she gets a great angle on the ball. Now it's Glass again. It was misplayed, and she has to two-hand it back. Now Scott, it has to be saved by Mesh. She's unable to get under that ball. So it's still a 2-point margin for Swarthmore. It's Shannon Hubert to serve. Now it's Scott. She plays it to Wallace. Beautiful save from Garrison. Glass with the deep push. Scott to Lou on the far side. Fantastic touch from the freshman Enisvet. She kept her eye on that front line of Swarthmore till the very last second. Found space on the weak side. Now it's Wallace, it's up. Can't put it down. Big time block, keeps it in play. Cummings sets for Wallace. Now Enisvet again. Saved. To Annetta, big ball from the back line. Played off the net. Now Wallace. Beautiful finish. She destroyed that ball. That was a textbook kill. Deep in the near corner. So SWAT will bring in the senior Amanda Reed to serve. They play it for Glass. It's blocked. Scott from Morgan Bennett. But a big time block off of Madison Forrest for the Mules. And this has been a really back and forth affair here. The Garnet holding on to a narrow margin. But we're getting down to crunch time in this set, and one team has to get on a little bit of a run here. Start putting the set away. Scott to Wallace. It's saved. Now Tornetta, tipped. Again to Wallace. It's up. And puts it down. Diving attempt from Tornetta. But well placed from Wallace. She's having a great set thus far. And the Mules have to talk things over as the Garnet inch closer to taking a 1-0 lead here in Tarple Pavilion. We'll be back with you in just a moment on the Garnet Sports Network. It's Malia Scott to serve for Swarthmore, nursing a 2-point edge in what has been a very balanced affair thus far. Beautiful wide serve, tough left-handed stab, and it's back in play. Scott to Wallace, and a massive block from the Mules. Wallace was in great position, but didn't have a great angle from the center of the court. Now wide to Leventhal. Tough save. It's Tornetta now. And it's deep. Mule's asking for a tip. But too much energy from Tornetta. Garnet are closer and closer, and it is Wallace now serving. Gets a little tip off the net. Tornetta again. Diving save from Gerard. One-handed by Dembravin. They go for a deep ball that may have been going long. Now Leventhal. It was tipped, and Garrison couldn't save it. And the Garnet look to close it out right here. Wallace takes her second service error of the set. But still a couple opportunities left for the Garnet as the freshman Enisvet sets the serve. Now it's Scott short to Morgan Bennett. It was a little too high. Morgan Bennett touches the net. And now the Mules with a chance to even it. This could be a real momentum swinger right here. And so it's Coach Harley Twostek who will take a timeout for the Garnet. In a really tight situation here. And we'll be back with you for the end of this first set on the Garnet Sports Network. Well, neither team has been able to secure a lead larger than 4 in this tight set. But now it's crunch time. Third set point for Swarthmore. And it's Vet to serve. It's Wallace to Scott. And it's Leventhal with the punch. And a diving save from Garrison is not enough. And finally, that will close out a difficult battle in this opening set. SWAT takes a 1-0 lead. And so we'll rejoin you here for the second set of play. Swarthmore up a set on Muhlenberg. Stick with us on the Garnet Sports Network. Roy, you asked if it's the scoreboards here? We're back for the second set at Tarble Pavilion. Swarthmore closing out that first set, but it was not easy. It was a very edgy set. Neither side able to maintain a significant advantage. And Muhlenberg almost made a comeback very late, saving 2 set points. Both sides have shown some pretty impressive defense so far, as well as showing some well-rounded attacks on both sides. For the Garnet, Wallace leads with 5 kills in the opening set. Then Bravin swung 250. And we've seen Malia Scott, who is serving now, play a pivotal role in that set with a couple kills and 13 assists already. But she makes her second service error of the night to give the Mules the early advantage. As Morgan Bennett saved by Garrison. Gerard plays it wide to Leventhal. Now a huge diving save from Dembravin on the back line. And they're going to call it a double touch off of Morgan Bennett. Morgan Bennett, a freshman that has really earned more and more playing time as the season has gone on. Made a few errors tonight, but still playing very well. Now Wallace is blocked off the short angle. Again Wallace, and she sets that ball down. She's got great height on top of that ball. And Wallace is definitely at her strongest when she's played wider rather than closer to the center of the court. That's her 6th kill of the night. Now a monster kill out of Enisvet. Her 3rd on the night, and she leads the Mules in hitting percentage thus far. Now Scott over to Dembravin. No problem finding space on the far side. Gerard will serve. She sends it deep. Garrison was not able to track that ball. Couldn't get behind it. And so that is a beautiful ace from Gerard, the sophomore out of Woodbine, Maryland. Now that ball is set wide for Tornetta. The Garnet got a slight tip on it, but much too much pace for Wallace on the back line. Has to be saved by Scott. A tough shot from Dembravin. Now Tornetta again. And she shoots it a little long. Mules head coach Keckler really asking for a tip, but it was not to be. Now they play it again to Tornetta from the center of the court. Tough stab from Wallace. Now Dembravin going with the touch shot, diving save. Alice Liu mistimed the jump. Tornetta from deep. Now Dembravin. There's a massive ball from Enisvet. Cross court, well played into the corner. That was a hefty shot. And the Mules are back in the lead once again. Alice Liu with the swinging kill. and it was too good of an angle for the Mules to return. So now it will be Gwyn Mesh to serve for the Garnet. Wallace was saved. Now Scott takes it herself. Well played by the Mules to stay in the point. Now again to Lou on the near side. And she closes it out. Some impressive saves on both sides of the net. Muhlenberg, as I mentioned, 15-8 on the season. 5-2 in the Centennial. That's good for third in the conference. Their two losses in conference have been a sweep at the hands of Hopkins. And last week, a tough four-set loss to Haverford. The Fords are right now on the outside looking in terms of the playoff picture. Haverford having finished second in the conference last year. And that's important for the Garnet because they'll close out their regular season hosting the Fords. Last year, the Garnet had a really difficult loss at Haverford to end the regular season. And so that will be a huge game to come next Saturday. But for now, they need to get through this pesky Mules team, somehow saved by Alice Liu. Now they play it to Wallace. It's saved. Tornetta from the back. Massive ball. It's saved. Now it's Wallace, who is blocked. Cummings once more to Wallace. It's still alive. Tornetta from the back. And that's a miscue wide. That keeps the serve in the Garnet half. Well done by Wallace with the tip. A nice mix-up that worked quite well. The Garnet have their largest lead of the night. It's 9-5. Muhlenberg's got to take a timeout, and we'll take a quick timeout here. Stick with us on the Garnet Sports Network. Garnet lead by 4 in the second set against visiting Muhlenberg. That ball too much to handle. Big serve by Gwyn Mesh, who is on a run right now to build up a decent lead for Swarthmore. Swarthmore this season has had a certain set of expectations that they have not had in the past, as Mesh claims her second ace in a row. And that is that they were picked in the preseason coaches poll to win the conference. And so they have had to play this 2016 season with the burden of being the favorites for the conference title. Diving saves from Cummings and Mesh are not enough. And finally, The Mules stopped the bleeding for the time being. And for the Garnet, they've been able to uphold that expectation extremely well. Their only Centennial blemish coming in a 2-point loss to Hopkins. Couldn't have been closer. And right now they sit in second place, but it is critical for them to win this match and to win out their regular season in order to continue having a shot to potentially be the top seed in the Centennial playoffs. Tough set, and Wallace has to save it down the line. Total misplay from Allison Glass, low into the net. But despite the Garnet's lone loss in conference, they still have some significant accomplishments on the season, including a 28-set victory streak in the middle of the season after their opening loss to nationally ranked Eastern. They did not drop a single set between September 2nd and September 21st. So it's Reed, the senior, out of Scarsdale, New York. It was a tough play for Gabrielle Rankert. Now Malia Scott on the far side. It's saved. And again, Rankert has to just play it back. So Muhlenberg struggling with its offense in this point. Morgan Bennett got great height, as she usually does, from the center of the court. But she clips the net. And so it's a point for the Mules. Still a 5-point margin. This past weekend against MIT, which has been receiving votes in the AVCA national rankings, Swarthmore won a big opening set and took a solid lead in the second, but were unable to close it out against a veteran MIT squad. That ball tipped by Morgan Bennett, but it's not enough to be returnable. Now we see a new face for the Garnet. It's freshman Isabel Andrews entering the game on that blocking line. That serve, a bit long from Hubert. Hubert sets for Forrest. And they're going to call that a double hit. Looks like it was off Andrews. Or perhaps Leventhal. So that's a tough misplay. Low serve from the Mules. Scott plays it wide to Leventhal. Diving save. Now Gerard, it's up for Wallace. Another save from Garrison. Tough set. And it is a double hit off Shannon Hubert. Muhlenberg's offense has been a little bit less tight in this set. A couple more errors than they would like. So now it's Wallace with the serve. Diving save. But Wallace takes the ace. Mules couldn't get a decent angle on that ball. A little bit of a break to clean up some sweat. Looks like they're getting a full wash in. Looks like we're ready to continue. The Garnet again with their largest lead, 6 points. Wallace, a nice deep serve. That is a huge ball from Maggie Ennisvet off the Hubert set. There was no touching that one. And this is around the time when the Mules need to start making a run and collapsing the deficit a little bit. They play it wide for Dembravin, and they're going to call it a double touch on Scott, who had to make a difficult play. She started with her back almost to the net and had to swing the ball around for Dembravin. Low service saved. Scott's 11th all. She's blocked. And she touched the net. So it is a Muhlenberg point. Now we see Bridget Scott entering the game, the local Strathaven graduate. Her first minutes of the night. Great call from Wallace to not touch that Madison Forest serve. Gerard set to serve. Scott to Lou in the center, and it's blocked by Schultz. She has had the center covered this entire night. That's her third block. And she is just imposing for attackers. Dembravin gets it over her. Now well played by Schultz on the push, just over the outstretched arm of Scott. Malia Scott, that is. Muhlenberg finally making a run. They've closed the gap to 2. Scott sends it back to Wallace from behind the 10-foot line, and it is misplayed by Ennisvet. Well done by Wallace off the deep ball. Now it's Cummings, the team's service leader, to serve. Beautiful tip by Alice Liu. She spotted that ball, sailing just over the net, and it was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Garrison with the tough ball. Now it's Tornetta, saved by Dembravin. Malia Scott, left-handed push. The Mules did not see that coming. Well done from Malia Scott. That'll be an error from Cummings. Malia Scott has done very well on the weak side in attacking tonight. She's been an offensive leader. Another leader is Mara Dembravin, who scores a kill. Too much pace for the blockers. Now it's Mesh re-entering to serve. But it'll be a Mules timeout to talk things over. SWAT maintaining a 5-point advantage in the second set. Stick with us. We'll be right back on the Garnet Sports Network. love it. I love it. Who, them? Yeah. 21-16. Swarthmore with a 1-set-to-love lead. And they're looking to close this set out with Gwyn Mesh serving. Who's played to Schultz. With great touch on that ball. Played it so softly, despite the height that she was able to get over the ball. And so the Mules looking to work their way back into the set in the waning points. Cummings wide to Scott. She is blocked. And it's a point to the Mules. Scott could not get it by that lanky front line. Although she's been very effective with that play all night. Now the serve from Garrison. Cummings sets it for Wallace from the center. And that has been an area of weakness thus far tonight. But she gets a ton of pace behind that ball. Big time kill from Wallace. So Amanda Reed will serve. She puts that ball nice and deep. And it's a double hit called on Shannon Hubert. Glass re-enters the game for Muhlenberg. A notable difference between these teams is just how deep Coach Chwasik of the Garnet likes to go with her bench. She's constantly making subs, often flirting with the 15 sub per set max. That's a big time block from Isabel Andrews. And that hands the Garnet set point. Reed looking to close this one out. It's a double hit again off Hubert. And that's going to do it for the second set. The Garnet starting to find their groove here. They take a 2-sets-to-love lead over the third place Mules. And so they'll look to complete the sweep. We'll be back with you for more Swarthmore Volleyball on the Garnet Sports Network. Stay with us. At least the last one was a double hit off of Sip. I guess he double touched it or something, I don't know. But I don't know about the one before that. Thank you.
Red team.
As we return to action here in the third set at Tarble Pavilion, we'll give you a quick update on volleyball scores around the conference. There's just one. Johns Hopkins currently tops in the conference, hosting Dickinson, and they are putting a beat down on Dickinson. Up 2-0 and 17-15 in the third. So Hopkins close to improving to 7-0 on the season. The Garnet has to hope that Hopkins takes an L somewhere in their last couple of Centennial games to have any hope of letting Swarthmore sneak into the top seed for the playoffs. As we get started with the opening set, it's Andrews who went for a big ball in the corner, but not quite enough margin. It's a tough save. Scott plays it back to Gerard. That's a total miscue off of Hubert. So now it's Hubert who sets for Tornetta. Tornetta with just her fourth kill, or excuse me, her fifth kill of the match, despite being the team's kill leader on the season. She has not had her most accurate day on the attack. So now Scott back to Bridget Scott, and she takes a kill. Well done by Bridget Scott, her first kill of the match. Now it's Gerard to serve. It's a double tip from Muhlenberg. For the last set or so, Muhlenberg seeming to have made a few more mistakes than they would like. But they actually swung better in the second set than they did in the first. Now a big time block from Alice Liu and Bridget Scott. And Scott went back up for that ball, but she clips the net on the swing. And it's back to even. Dubrovin has to go for the two-handed push. That's a cheeky little move from Madison Forrest. Finds the short angle, couldn't be saved. While we have a short break in the action, let's give you a little Garnet Sports Update. 4 teams are in action right now, including volleyball. Women's soccer is outside on Clothier Field. They've just started the second half, and they're in a tight one with Muhlenberg. Women's soccer having to recover from a really difficult 2-0 loss at the hands of McDaniel this past weekend. And they're looking to secure, at minimum, the number 3 seed in the playoffs. So that's a tight one out there at Clothier Field, and we will keep you updated on that. Men's soccer also in action. A road match non-conference at Rutgers Camden. They're also tied 0-0 in the 47th minute. Great tip from Alice Liu. She's been able to take advantage of that several times tonight. And also in action, field hockey is at Muhlenberg. They're in the 32nd minute, and they're down 2-0. But it's been a tight one thus far out there. And they've got a very winnable chance against a strong Centennial team. So we will be sure to keep you updated on all of that around Swarthmore Athletics. Brutal point, beautiful save from Aaliyah Scott. The push from Hubert twice, saved by Wallace. Coming to Liu in the center. It's saved. And it is just long from Tornetta from the back. She was looking for Laura Ball on the weak side, but played it just a bit long. That was a fantastic point by both sides. And it gives Elise Cummings the serve. The play wide against a ball, but misplayed by Hubert. Cummings wide to Malia Scott. It's saved. Now back to ball again. Blocked. It's up to ball. Tipped twice. Wallace plays it back, and then Bravin sends it over. That is misplayed by Madison Forrest. Off the backward set from Hubert. It's a 3-point edge for the Garnet. So far for Swarthmore, we've seen some impressive hitting out of Wallace and Dembravin, but also Alice Liu. She's got 5 kills out of 12 attacks. So she's swinging super well tonight. Cummings takes a service error. That's her second of the match. Now Hubert to serve. Cummings back to Alice Liu. Somehow diving save from Garrison. Cummings has to save it for Scott. Again, it's Garrison is everywhere tonight. Cummings has to save it. Wallace back to Dembravin. And a meaty kill out of Ennisvet. Looked like they were going to play it wide against a ball, but Ennisvet took the tougher angle. So it's Hubert against the serve. Looking to even the set, and it's long. Too much mustard from Shannon Hubert. It's Mesh against the serve. She's got 2 aces on the day. And she makes her first error. But she was a critical piece of that second set run that really put the set out of reach. And she's back out in favor of Dembravin. So it's up for Wallace. Fantastic save out of Hubert. It's up for Wallace, and she is blocked. It's off Gerard. Great save. Cummings plays it back over, and she gets the kill. She takes the point. That ball went right off the chest of Gerard. A stab save from Wallace. And Cummings somehow handled it perfectly. Muhlenberg had no response. Not the most efficient positioning. So it's Reed to serve. Off a big momentum point and a huge ace from Reed. Garrison unable to track that ball deep in the far corner. That's Reed's first ace of the night. They set it up for Ennisvet. And it's good. So a 2-point lead for Swarthmore. Cummings up for Wallace. And she puts it down. Clips the line on a tough angle. But that is her bread and butter. She finds space that volleyball players are probably not meant to find. That's what makes her so impressive. Now it's Scott. Up for Ennisvet. Indecisive. She nets it. And it is a 4-point advantage for the Garnet. In each of the second and third sets, they've been able to start building some leads around the middle of the set. And it's really made things rather comfortable for them. It's a double hit off of Ennisvet. And comfortable in the sense that the last set and a half have clearly shown the Garnet to be the more efficient and less errored team. Now it's wide for Wallace. She puts it deep, saved by Garrison. Beautiful two-handed backwards play. Now Scott, for Bridget Scott, somehow saved by Garrison. That was amazing. So the Mules reset. It's Tornetta. She launched it, but it's stopped by Gerard. Up to Wallace, and she puts it down. Down the line, inside corner. What a ball from Wallace. But Garrison did everything and then some to stay in the point. Despite that, the Garnet take the point. And the Mules have to take a timeout. Down 6 in this final set. Swarthmore looking to complete the sweep. And we'll be right back for more Swarthmore Volleyball on the Garnet Sports Network. A quick update for you from Clothier Field. Hannah Lichtenstein put Swarthmore up 1-0 in the 50th minute, assisted by Katie Doherty. But just a couple seconds ago, they've just allowed a goal to Carly DeNegris from the Mules. So we're in the 58th minute, and it is 1-1. Outdoors at Clothier Field. So women's soccer locked in a battle, and that's a win they really need to have. The team was ranked as high as number 6 in the nation, but they've had a couple of tough defeats in the last 3 weeks that have set them back from their record-breaking pace. So again, we'll keep you updated on action out on Clothier Field. We restart in Tarble Pavilion. Unbelievable diving save from Dembravin. Keeps the point alive. That's a huge block. Now Tornetta tipped again, but Tornetta finally able to close out the point. Looks like Muhlenberg looking to be a little bit more aggressive as the figurative clock ticks down for them. Still down 5 in this third set. Malia's got us to play it from very wide. A little bit misplayed by Wallace on the set. Gerard plays a tough high ball. Dembravin from the back, went for the touch shot. Wide again for Tornetta. And it was a vicious deep block from Belle Andrews. But they call it a double hit. So that's a bit of a tough pill to swallow on a point that the Garnet had on a great block. But they'll take this point on the Ennisvet service error. 15-11. Sarah Wallace back to serve for the Garnet. Misplayed by Rankert. It was far too deep to be recovered. A strong serve from Wallace. Now it's up for the lanky Schultz. It's saved. Wide for Bridget Scott. She went for the touch play and it worked. Got a little bit of a tip from Schultz. And that ball was pretty much unplayable from there. So a nice little change up from Bridget Scott. Her second kill of the night. Wallace will continue to serve. She's swinging a strong 273 tonight. One of 3 Garnet players hitting above 200. So a really balanced and efficient attack from Swarthmore tonight, as you've come to expect from this high-octane offense. Good save from Dembravin. They play it again for Tornetta, and they call it the double hit on the set. Wallace continues, shorter serve. Again, Tornetta from the center of the court. It was tipped off of Scott and Andrews. And Tornetta, especially in this set, has been looking for some penetrating shots. She's throwing everything she's got behind these balls. But the Garnet have done pretty well to stem that attack. That blazing attack that Tornetta is able to show from all parts of the court. And they've limited her to swinging 143 on the evening. Now Scott plays it wide for Dembravin. It's tipped. Now Laura Ball went huge on that. Off the side of Bridget Scott. The Mules are leaving nothing to chance on these attacking opportunities. Tornetta serving. Malia Scott sends it to Bridget Scott. Saved off the scorer's table. An amazing save. And Muhlenberg claims the point. They went all out for that ball. Crashing into the scorer's table. The PA announcer did well just to save himself and his microphone. But even more impressive for the Mules to take that point. And they need to run right about now to try and take this set. And unfortunately, that's an error from Tornetta. Back to a 5-point advantage for the Garnet. But we've seen each team very well-rounded tonight. Glimpses of high-powered offense and some impressive defensive stops from both sides. Now Gerard sets it up for Bridget Scott. She got a bit of an early jump, so it's saved. Now Hubert, she didn't get a great angle on that ball, but she was able to clip it off the fingers of, looks like Alice Liu. So that's a point that they didn't think they would win, but they'll certainly take it. Now the libero Garrison to serve. Set for Bridget Scott in the center, saved by Garrison. Mules play it back over. It's Dembravin who went heavy on that ball, went for the shorter angle, and it was successful off that line. So Swarthmore can see the finish line in sight. It's Cummings who will look to start with this finishing rally. Ball went massive into the deep corner, but she didn't give herself enough room. Called long. 6-point lead. That's misplayed off a great deep serve from Cummings. And so Coach Keckler has to talk things over, see if she can rally her Muhlenberg team to stay in this match, but Swarthmore has really started to build up a significant lead, and they're looking to end a strong match, leading by 7 in the final set. Stick with us. We'll be back in a moment on the Garnet Sports Network.
Got too confident. I know. It broke down in the back line. That's what it was. South Harris just broke down in the back. I said it actually put my leg back there. It's sad, honestly. No one would ever get past it.
Swarthmore looking to make this the final moments here in Tarble Pavilion. Up 22-15. Dembravin with the touch shot, and she gets the kill. Well done by Dembravin. It is her 9th kill on the night. She's swinging above 300. That's a fantastic clip. Cummings with the high short serve. Out wide to ball. It's tipped, but saved. Now Malia Scott, two-handed push into the corner. Mules have to play this one back over. Cummings wide to Liu, and she gets the kill. Garrison was off balance on that ball. It's a 9-point advantage. All the momentum behind the Garnet. It's match point. Cummings to finish it out. Beautiful low serve. Cleans up on an ace, and that will do it. It was a super tight opening set, but by a score of 25-23, 25-18, 25-15. Swarthmore gets its 17th win on the season, improves to 7-1 in the Centennial with a clean and high-level win over a pesky Muhlenberg team that drops to 15-9 on the year, 5-3 in the Centennial, still good for third place in the conference. And with that, the Garnet move another step closer to locking up the number 2 seed for the conference playoffs. They have only 2 conference matches left to play against 3-3 Haverford and 0-7 Bryn Mawr. That will come next week. But next up on the Garnet schedule is this weekend's exciting Garnet Classic, where the Garnet will host 5 other teams and play 4 matches in 2 days. They'll be taking on Scranton and DeSales on Friday evening, 6 and 8 p.m. and